I'm just leaving work here on this lovely Friday afternoon, and I've read quite recently that there is a city in the UK that has been voted as the worst city to visit for a mini break. I think it's probably wise that we go and check it out. So I've booked into a hotel for tonight and we'll take a bit of a drive there to see what it's about. So we made it to the room and we've got a bathroom, bath, shower, sink, toilet, and of course a nice comfy bed. We're staying here at a Premier Inn in Derby, which if you're watching abroad is a hotel chain in the UK. Take a quick look out the window. Not much of a view, but it'll do. Lovely stuff. So we're about to get out in Derby on this Friday night to have a look and have a conversation with some of the people in this town and see if it really is, as they say, the worst city in the UK. On first impressions, you know, it looks pretty nice, to be honest. We're just crossing over the River Derwent and it's very peaceful. Some nice architecture here. You won't see any of the old Soviet tower blocks or brutalist buildings. You know, you're looking at more Weatherspoons and Pop Worlds. But nonetheless, we'll see what it's about. I'm joined by Jake from Leeds.
Hello everyone.
There he is. And we're joined by Ben, who is local to Derby. So we'll see what we can find out while we are here in Derby. Bit of pub piano for you. There we go. So Ben, a couple of questions actually vis-a-vis living in Derby. Do you like living here?
Derby's a beautiful place. You know, it's an easy to get anywhere in the country. There's a lot worse places in the world. You know, there's a lot of things to do. You know, I have big dreams of moving out one day, but I've spent my whole life here, so there's nothing wrong with this place at all.
And what would you say are the best aspects of Derby? What makes Derby Derby?
It doesn't really have its selling points. You know, there's nothing special about it. There's a big community feel. You look at the football club when it went into disrepair. Everyone came out for it. Everyone feels close. I think people are friendly. You go out into town, I'm sure you'll see later on, people are happy to talk to you. And there are things to do. It's not big, but there are things to do.
We've got a courthouse here, and it is just down by the riverside. I don't know how well you can quite see, but it's quite a way down there. Now, Ben, you said something about prisoners in the days gone by.
Very interesting. About the 1800s, there used to be, well, this is where the old prison blocks were. You know, prisoners in a very shanky little cell would get chucked down there. The problem is when the river would flood, especially in winter time, the prisoners would drown in their cells. So they had to build new. It wasn't ideal for public image, but that is where they still are.
So there you have it, Derby prison cells of the old jail down by the River Derwent on this Friday evening. Greetings from Suds and Soda in Derby. It's a lovely little micro pub here with some great craft beers in it. It's really a lovely place to be. We've got a bit of a watering hole live stream going on in the background. We've got a cup of tea here to drink. What a place to be. Come and visit Suds and Soda in lovely Derby. So I'm here with Nico, you've come from Mexico,
All
right?
the way from Mexico.
To study here at Derby.
Yeah.
And what do you study, my friend?
Criminology and forensics.
Criminology. Wow. So what do you think of Derby? It was voted obviously as the worst city in the UK for a mini break. Do you believe it?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Oh, what a place to be.
We'll see how it goes.
What a place to be. Lucas, what do you think of Derby? You're from Leeds, right?
Yeah, I'm from Leeds.
Leeds, what a great city. We'll be reviewing Leeds soon. So tell me, what do you think about Derby?
There's a lot of run-down areas.
Yes?
The housing's not that good.
Okay.
But it's getting there, I think.
It is. I think
it's changing a lot.
It is. It's a city on the move. So would you say it deserves to be called the worst city in the UK?
Absolutely not.
No, it's great fun.
I've been to worse places.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Success.
Well, good morning from the centre of Derby. I mean, look at this building here. It almost looks Soviet. And then we turn around and we can see bits of the city, including this lovely building here, constructed in, I don't know, 1941, I think it is, with lovely Greek columns. You know, it's a real stark contrast from car park, which almost looks Soviet, to cinema, to old style. Let's have a look what else we can find in Derby. Now this was the site of Derby Assembly Rooms. There was quite a bad fire here several years ago, maybe around 10 years ago now, and you can sort of see that it is pretty much disused, and there's these barriers all around the outside. There are plans to renovate the old Derby Live Assembly Rooms, but when that's going to take place, I'm unsure. And we can see, if we look at the barriers around the outside, there are some famous and important people from Derby, including Florence Nightingale, who was born here. And then there are several other people that are important associated with Derby, which we will see as the day goes on. Now, this very windy part of Derby, this is Derby Cathedral. It's quite a big church, but it is only a new cathedral. Derby is a relatively new city compared to some others in this country. It's a lovely building based on what I found online. Shall we go and check it out? We've just come inside the cathedral, and obviously being a place of worship, we do have to keep our voices down. It's clearly setting up for an event here, but there's that really famous wrought iron screen. It's a Robert Bakewell. There we can see just in the distance there the memorial to the Bess of Hardwick. And if we turn around and look up in the gods, there's this beautiful Compton organ. I think it's around the 1940s. I've listened to some playing online of their resident organist, Alexander Binns, and it sounds truly spectacular. But what a lovely space. It's so light in here. It's a really pleasant place to be. So here you've got the memorial to the Bess of Hardwick, the owner of the very, very famous Hardwick Hall. Famous expression of Hardwick Hall, more glass than wall. And that is because in the time when Bess of Hardwick was living there, glass was so expensive. It was a show of real wealth and luxury. And also a little bit of a reminder of Joseph Wright, who was a famous painter from the local area. And this beautiful little focal point over the altar, supposedly to give the congregation something to focus on for their worship. Derby Cathedral was originally built on a Saxon site, and just listen to the echo down here. This is a medieval little chapel. It's called St. Catherine's Chapel, which has been so beautifully preserved. A real nod to the heritage of this place. We're here next to the statue of Bonnie Prince Charlie, who led the Jacobite Revolution against the English in the 18th century. This guy was a Scottish king, and he came down as far as Derby before he was captured, tried and sent back to Scotland because of lack of support from the English. By the side of the River Derwent is the old silk mill, which has been converted into the Museum of Making. Derby is actually like the third wealthiest city in the UK. The reason being, there is so much industry here. This was birthplace of the Industrial Revolution. So let's go and check out some of the history of Derby in terms of what's been made. Now this is a narrow fabric loom in the old silk mill of Derby. Look at this view that you've got out to the river. These were really, really famous up and down Derbyshire with the weavers and the spinners. Really, the start of the Industrial Revolution happened in a small town north of here called Cromford, famous for being used at the cover of Oasis, as some might say. But look at this heritage here. This would have been, I don't know, maybe late 18th century. So immaculately preserved, the heritage of this great city of inventing and engineering. So this is a scale model of the Merlin engine in the Second World War, all made by Rolls-Royce. Still based in Derby, of course, the great company. And the Merlin engine was also used to power the Lancaster bombers, the Spitfires and the Hurricanes. And during the Second World War, they basically hung Coventry out to dry, a nearby city, which was completely destroyed by the Luftwaffe, leaving Derby, the centre of all this manufacturing, completely untouched. Derby is known as Rail Track City. You can see this massive map of the whole of the Midland Railway with Derby at the centre. Derby, of course, recently been named as the new headquarters of the Department for Transport's Great British Railways. A real nod to its industrial heritage and clearly bright future for this great city in the Midlands. So you move on from the Merlin engine to this, the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 jet engine. The jet engine was developed by Sir Frank Whittle in, you guessed it, the city of Derby. And this engine is currently used on the Boeing 787 and the Airbus A350. Two real commercial long-range passenger planes, all powered by this engine, developed in Rolls-Royce in Derby. A little bit of the history of Rolls-Royce. They moved to the main works in 1908, Merlin engine production 39, and then the turbofans today. The works for Rolls-Royce in Derby nowadays is not to do with cars. Rolls-Royce cars are of course owned by BMW, but it's to do with engines and nuclear submarines. Rolls-Royce cars were actually sold off in the 1970s, so they could focus on projects like this, the wonderful turbofan. So there you have some of the information about the Museum of Making. Derby really is an engineering city from 300 years ago nearly. The mills of Richard Arkwright, Jedediah Strutt, to right now where you've got Rolls-Royce, Toyota cars, Bombardier trains. It really is a city of engineering. And you know, when you're going through all of these great cities in the world, all where the great rivers flow through, you've got the Danube, the Mississippi, those mighty rivers. You never really think about the Derwent, do you? But the Derwent flowing through this great county was one of the things that powered those great mills all that time ago when a fledgling USA was being born. Here in Derbyshire, the Industrial Revolution was beginning. A booming Wetherspoons pub on this Saturday. I mean, my food's already come. It's cheap and cheerful, but it's already cold. Oh, I can't believe it. It's already cold. So here in Derby Market Hall, you've got live music, independent businesses. It's what this city is all about. Independent businesses thrive here. Look at all the people, look at the community. It truly is a great place to be.
Usher, ding, da, 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 da.